Many times when I'm alone and ask, "What am I?" there is a deep longing.
This sense of longing is a perception. Are you the perception or the space in which it appears? You are not this longing, and it is not always present. It comes and goes. You are not the perception, you are that in which it appears. However, you can never perceive this space in which it appears. If you could, it would, by definition, be a perception. Our actual experience is that we are nothing objective. The next step is to live in accordance with this understanding. If it becomes unclear again, and we find ourselves thinking or feeling that we are located somewhere, or that we are limited, we have to return to this understanding. We have to be serious and honest and try to find what we really are, because we don't want to spend our lives serving something that does not exist. If I am the servant of something, then at the least I want to know what it is that I am serving. We should serve that space, that awareness, that presence, which we can never see objectively, and which is at the same time undeniable. We know that it is undeniable, because if it were not present, nothing else could exist. When you do anything, see whether this activity is undertaken as a servant of this presence or as the slave of a shadow, a personal entity. In the beginning, this may seem theoretical, and the mind will come up with resistances such as, "This is theoretical, forget it." This thought, however, is one of the ways the separate entity tries to protect itself. The real question is not whether it is theoretical, but whether or not it is true. If the answer is yes, my activity is serving a separate entity, then we have to investigate this entity, this I. This I is a perceived object. To what does it appear? It appears in the real I consciousness. In this way, we move from the object to its source. At this moment, we get a glimpse of our true nature. After some time, because of the habit of always thinking or feeling ourselves as objects, we find that we cannot remain simply as this objectless presence. Again, the feeling of separation returns with its customary train of thoughts and activities. However, the mind has been struck a mortal blow by this encounter with the unknown, and its capacity to convincingly impersonate the real I has been irreparably weakened.
How should we approach the small I when it returns?
We simply return to the understanding that it appears in the real I. The thoughts that relate to the small I will gradually subside. Do not replace them with anything. There will now be gaps in our experience that were formerly occupied by the thoughts and feelings of the small I. Later, we recognize these gaps as our original openness. To begin with, these gaps seem to appear from time to time between two thoughts or feelings. Later on, we discover that it is in fact the thoughts and feelings that appear from time to time in the timeless presence of consciousness. So from the point of view of mind, these gaps appear fleetingly in the stream of thoughts and feelings. However, from the point of view of consciousness, it is the thoughts and feelings that appear fleetingly in the ocean of consciousness.
Why is it so difficult to remain as this open space of consciousness?
It is actually impossible not to remain as this open space of consciousness. However, to be it knowingly is a different matter. The reason is that once the I thought has disappeared as a result of understanding, new layers of feeling come to the surface. Unlike the thoughts of the small I, which seem to hold some promise of happiness, of fulfillment, these feelings are uncomfortable, and we therefore try to escape from them into thinking. Thus, the process of avoidance through thinking and subsequent activity is again generated. It requires great courage, love, and patience to face these feelings without wanting to escape from them.